She was told she'd never walk again, until a mechanic showed up. Imagine this, a billionaire's daughter, trapped in a wheelchair, her dreams crushed by a brutal car crash. Doctors gave up. Money failed. But in a greasy Brooklyn garage, one man refused to quit. What if the miracle she needed wasn't in a hospital, but hidden among engine parts and wires? This is the true story of how a broken mechanic rebuilt hope, piece by piece, and gave a girl her life back. The streets of Brooklyn never slept. Neon lights flickered on wet sidewalks. Sirens screamed. At the corner of Fulton and Gates, between a laundromat and a tired old diner, sat Hayes' Auto. It smelled of oil, steel, and second chances. Inside worked Daniel Hayes, 27, no ordinary mechanic. His hands fixed engines in minutes. But after closing, he stayed late. Hunched over a secret project. Wires. Metal scraps. A dream no one knew about. He was building an exoskeleton. A metal frame to help broken legs walk again. Not for cars. For people. Born from pain. His little sister, Lily, never walked. She died at 16. Daniel promised no one else would feel that helpless. Across the river, in a penthouse above Central Park, lived Richard Bennett. Billionaire. Ruthless. He could buy anything. Except one thing. His daughter Emily's future. Emily, 22, once danced at Lincoln Center. Graceful. Brilliant. Then, one night, a crash stole everything. She woke up paralyzed. Doctors said permanent. No hope. Specialists flew in from everywhere. Nothing worked. She became a prisoner in her own home. Staring out windows. Watching joggers. Wondering if she'd ever move again. Her father bought her everything. Designer clothes. A grand piano she never touched. But Emily didn't want things. She wanted freedom. Depression moved in. Silent. Heavy. Some nights she wondered if she'd already died in that crash. Then fate stepped in. One humid morning, Richard's luxury car broke down in Brooklyn. He stormed into Hayes' Auto furious. Late for a meeting. Waving his checkbook. But in the back seat? Emily. Watching quietly. Daniel saw her. Not the wheelchair. He saw her eyes. Lost. Distant. Something stirred in him. He leaned close to the open door and said calm and low, "Machines break. But they can be rebuilt. People too." Emily blinked. No one had spoken to her like that. Not pity. Not promises. Just truth. That night, she couldn't stop thinking about him. Days later, she returned. Alone. Under the excuse of a car tune-up. Daniel didn't look at her chair. He pulled up a stool. Sat eye to eye. And talked. About cars. The city. Then, quietly, about his real work. The exoskeleton. Hidden in the back. Rough. Held together with tape. But alive. "Does it work?" she whispered. "Not yet," he said. "But it will." She touched the cold metal. "I want to try." That night, after closing, he strapped her in. The machine hummed. She tried to stand. Legs shook. She collapsed. But instead of tears, she laughed. A small, breathless laugh. "That's the first time I've stood in 2 years," she said, smiling. Daniel grinned. That laugh? It meant everything. They kept trying. Secret nights. Emily lied to her father. Said she was at therapy. But really? She was in that shop. Failing. Falling. Getting stronger. The machine improved. So did she. Her hands grew tough. Her spirit woke up. She told him about ballet. He told her about Lily. Laughter filled the garage. But secrets don't last. One night, the door burst open. Richard stormed in. Saw his daughter strapped into a junk machine. Sweating. Struggling. He exploded. "Enough! This is dangerous!" Emily stood taller than she had in years. "Dad?" He's not risking my life. He's giving it back. Silence. The machine hummed. She took one step. Then another. 3 shaky steps. Alone. I did this, she whispered. Richard froze. Tears in his eyes. For the first time, he had no words. A week later he returned. Not angry. Watching. As Emily walked across the room. Stumbled. Caught herself. Kept going. When she reached him, she fell into his arms. Not from weakness. From victory. You see? She said. I can live again. Richard turned to Daniel. Name your price. Daniel shook his head. This isn't about money. It's about giving people back what they lost. Richard paused. Then offered something else. Partnership. Funding. Labs. A future. Daniel hesitated. Emily touched his arm. Think of everyone we could help. He agreed. Months later? The exoskeleton was sleek. Powerful. Emily walked on stages. Spoke at conferences. Became a symbol. Not of tragedy. Of triumph. Letters poured in. Veterans. Kids. Survivors. All begging for a chance. And Emily? She walked through Central Park. Felt grass under her feet. Danced again, small careful steps. Found a new stage. Not to perform. To inspire. Beside her? Daniel. The mechanic who never gave up. To the world, it was a miracle. To them? It was proof. Hope can be rebuilt. Just like machines. And sometimes, the person who changes your life forever is the one no one expected.